Yeah, that's, I just thought that was like, I thought that was the only silence that we understand. Which.
I saw him put it.
Yeah, be careful what you say. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the Maplewood City Council meeting for Tuesday, June 11th. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic of the states, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me.
You got it.
No, it went down the wrong. Sorry, I apologize.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Crowell,
Yeah, they're here.
Councilmember Garcia,
Here.
Mayor Greenberg,
Here.
Councilmember Homa.
Here.
Councilmember Maddox.
Here.
Councilmember Page.
Here.
Mayor Quorum is present.
Can I have a motion to excuse Councilmember Falcon? So moved. Seconded. We have a motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilmember Falkingham is excused. The next item is the approval of the council agenda. Motion to approve. Seconded. And we have a motion. Seconded. In a second, thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The agenda has been approved. Item number 6 is approval of the May 28th, 2024 council meeting minutes. Motion to approve. Seconded. We have a motion, second. Is there any discussion, revisions or changes? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The minutes have been approved. Item number 7 is a public hearing to hear citizens' comments and requests by Kunal Patel of Royal Liquor 2423 Jaganesha LLC to be located at 2423 South Big Bend Boulevard for a full and Sunday package liquor license. Is there anyone here that would like to speak? Yes, please come up, give us your name and address and.
I have to hold it the whole time. Okay. Okay, if you didn't hear, Lamira Martin, 7433 Zephyr, which is directly across this Big Bend from where the liquor store would be or would not be in case. I think it's a terrible idea. I've lived at Zephyr for 23 years. There was a 7-Eleven there. It was okay, you know. There were skirmishes and the police got called and so forth, you know, over time, but it really worries me that having a liquor store there would promote crime, would promote violence. Studies show that property values decrease when there's a liquor store in the neighborhood. There are already 3 liquor stores within 1 mile of that location. Big Bend Liquor Store at 3620 South Big Bend, Stars at 1135 South Big Bend, and Total Wine and More at Brentwood Promenade, which is 1.5 miles from that location. I have no problem with people doing whatever they want to do, but my problem is it's my neighborhood and it's right across the street. There are several people here who live right next to me and right down Zephyr that would be directly impacted, I believe. I think there are other ways, other things that could be used for that building, for many other things that could be used for that. I've been thinking about it. If you want to know, I've got some ideas. A dog grooming or a daycare, a vintage clothing outlet, which would work real well with the estate sale places that are right next to it. Personal training space, a specialty grocery or herb store. A tutorial space. I'm not sure how it would work, but like for the high school and the junior high. You know, if children are having trouble and they don't want to go to counselors, people, you know, in the school. Right on the way home, they could stop by and have somebody help them. I mean, I know that's very broad. I don't, you know, statistics and data for that, but that's just an idea of things that could go into that building. It doesn't have to be a liquor store. I have some studies that I've looked up, and there are many, many studies that show that having liquor stores in neighborhoods, rates of violence go up, crime goes up, assaults go up, injuries from accidents. I can't tell you how many accidents have happened right in that area, even without a liquor store. And I just really am concerned that with a liquor store there, it could be even worse. Mainly, I'm worried about the children. You know, that's the main thing that I think about, is that walking home from school, because that's exactly where they walk. They walk right. You know, if you see the building right here, the high school's here, they walk right next to it. Coming home from school every single day. And I just can't see how that's a good thing for our neighborhood.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And I neglected to let everyone know that when you address the council, you we've been going with 3 minutes. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No, who else would like to come on up? Name and address, please. And press the.
That's good, yeah.
Mark Strebler, 7442 Zephyr. I probably live 300 feet in front of this proposed location. I got two small children. We walk up to Ryan Hummer Park quite often in the mornings, and there's 9 times out of 10 there's unhoused people up there, and alcohol is always seen, and the trash cans are and that's right next to the playground. So I'm just concerned with it being in between a park and the high school. So that's all I got to say.
Okay, thank you. Who else would like to, please?
James Pennington, 7441 Zephyr. That's a really bad spot. There's the traffic right there. It's a mess anyway. People trying to get in and out of the liquor stores. It's just, I mean, you can't really get out of Big Bend hardly as it is. I live right across the street from where that proposal is, and I've seen countless close calls, whether it be in the morning, in the evening. It's just a bad spot. And if they can't get out that way, they're gonna end up cutting through the neighborhood, which leads directly to the park and the pool and the school, which again, can't be a good idea. I just think it's a bad idea all the way around. As was already previously stated, that crime increases, property values decrease, assaults, everything goes up. Nothing good is gonna be coming to this. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Nick Bradford. I live 2622 Law Avenue here in Maplewood. Been living here for almost going on 10 years now. That used to be a 7-Eleven. Now you want to bring in a liquor store. We have too many liquor stores within the vicinity of this high school and junior high, as well as parks. And I don't think it's a good idea due to the fact that you have children come across that use that travel signal device to get across traffic during the day, morning, and evening. And it's an accident waiting to happen, not just that loitering, bigotry, everything that comes in, noise pollution. I've seen it all from East St. Louis to here. And I think it's not a good idea because it's going to cause issues down the line, and it's going to hurt property values. It's going to hurt the public and especially the trust that we, the citizens, put in for the city hall. So I think we need to take a step back, reevaluate this issue, and come back with a more solution. Otherwise, this is just a bad deal for everybody. And I think that we don't need another liquor store, period. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak, please?
Hi, my name's Charles Morris. I live at 7447 Wendover Place, basically right across the street from where the proposed liquor store would be. And I agree with everything that everybody else has already said about it. I think there is actually one more liquor store within a mile, right there at Manchester and Bellevue. Yeah, so there's an additional one, Schnucks is right there. You can buy liquor there. My biggest concern would probably be just the kids walking home from school every day if there's a liquor store. I mean, let's be honest, there's gonna be drunk people going in and out of there at some point, and, who knows when, an accident's gonna happen. I work from home a lot, and there's already car accidents out there all the time. There's always somebody getting, right there at Wendover and Big Ben getting in a wreck. I think it's just gonna amplify the traffic, and it's just not a good idea.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Yes.
My name is Candace Lynch. I'm at 2514 Oakland Avenue. My children catch the bus kind of catty corner. They're old enough now to walk there on their own, and I would like to keep it that way. In order for me to feel safe with that, I think a liquor store being put there, I'd want to meet them at the bus stop to make sure everything's good. I moved to this community about 3 years ago. One of the reasons I chose was because that 7-Eleven was shut down. It was notorious throughout the community being not a great place where people would collect and gather. And so when I knew that that was shutting down, I was more open to moving into the community. I think putting liquor store in its place will take us back to that exact same feel and atmosphere. So that's what I got. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes.
My name's Elizabeth. I'm at 2423 Florent Avenue, so I live right behind where the liquor store would be. I've been there for a little over 4 years, so I was there when the 7-Eleven was there, and there would always be people carrying alcohol through the neighborhood. And that intersection is already dangerous enough. People always constantly running red lights. It's very difficult to turn out of anyway. Green. Yes, there's other liquor stores that are close by, and I agree with everything else that everyone has already said.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak? Is the PNID? We'll discuss that a little bit later. I was wondering if the petitioner is here. Yes, would you like to address?
Yes, sure.
Please.
My name is Kunal Patel, and I'm from the Royals Liquor. I represent the Royals, and we have 17 stores. But
Yeah, please speak into the
yes,
microphone.
I am from, my name is Kunal Patel, and I'm a representative for the Royals Liquor. We have 17 stores in St. Louis. And I totally respect to all neighbors in city. To me, like whatever the neighbors say, I agree with that. Like if they feel that way, I respect the city, and probably I will take my application back. Because see, business comes, business goes. I have 17, I probably find some more spot and do it. But the people who lives in neighborhood, they are here and they will be here. So I totally respect the neighborhood for Maplewood City and all the city people.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that's sort of a first for us.
Yeah,
Uh,
shocking.
He said he will listen to what you guys said, and he's a businessman who has 17 of these stores, and if you guys really feel that way, that he will withdraw his application.
Thank you very much.
I'll just clarify one thing, just so that people understand. If I get this wrong, council, correct me, but whenever there's a hearing like this, and I'm very grateful that people came out and expressed their opinion because, things get fixed and everybody's happy. There's language like, we're going to bring a liquor store to Maplewood, or we're putting one there. This is just a reaction to an application for a liquor license. So this isn't like we sat in a room and said, it would be great if the 7-Eleven site is a liquor store. So I just wanted you to understand, like, this is why this, you were asking, like, is there a vote? It's like, this is so we understand what the community wants so that we can react accordingly. Just, and it worked perfectly in this case. You all came out, you said what you had. By the way, I live on Zephyr as well. So my kid walks that way as well. So I'm appreciate what everybody's saying, but just wanted to understand sort of where we are in the process.
And Anthony, what type of liquor license does, Quick Trip have? Is it only the beer?
They have the same. Yeah, they have package.
So they have a full liquor license?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
7-Eleven had some additional restrictions on it a while back. It's been a while since I've looked at that though. But 7-Eleven had some additional restrictions that the council put on a long time ago.
Yeah, because of the proximity of the school.
I'm not sure. I wasn't there when it was approved, but I know it was a little bit different.
We certainly appreciate the petitioner being so cooperative with us. You know, it is a tough, you know, it's an allowed use, even though it's conditional use. That location is, you know, what we feel is that it's not the highest and best use for that location. If that owns the building does have, you know, some rights, you know, with regards to, you know, leasing it out. But hopefully the city will work with them to find another tenant that's more suitable for the neighborhood. So, thank you for participating in the public hearing. If there's no other speakers, then we move on to item number 8. And item number 8 is a public hearing to hear citizens' comments on the proposal to amend Code of Ordinances, Chapter 56, Zoning Article 2, District Regulations, Division 2, Section 5673, SR Single Family Residential District Use Regulations, and Section 56-1061, non-conforming lots of record. So, does anyone out there know what this is about? Okay, briefly, do you want to explain the proposed?
Sure. The planning commission, and Councilmember Correll as well have been working, probably 6 months on this, and some of the ideas is they're gonna reduce the potential lot size to bring it more into in line with what our existing lots are. Right now, our minimum lot size is 6,000 square feet. There are very few of those in town. And then we're going to, in an effort to try to avoid the extremely large tear downs and very large homes, we put a restriction on new construction where you essentially have to go out within the 300-foot radius and stay within about 10% of that. And then there's going to be limitations on alterations, or by alterations, I mean additions to existing homes. There was many different square footage distances proposed. We also had a 300-foot parameter in there. We realized that that was very cumbersome, and it really didn't change much above the number they ultimately settled on. So the max square footage alteration or addition now you can do in Maplewood is 500 square feet. The planning commission, in addition to some renderings that one of the commission members and staff put together, showing what basically that gives you is a good sized bedroom, master bedroom. It gives you hallways for egress out to the rear side, which typically is the case when you're doing an addition. It also gives you the ability for a decent sized closet, ADA accessible bathroom, along with first floor laundry. And then there's one final provision in there, and that's basically some smaller existing non-conforming lots of record. We've reduced that size slightly to 35 feet as well. So basically, we're allowing building on smaller lots and having some sort of control or some sort of restrictions to avoid, where a 700 square foot home or 800 square foot home gets demolished and you have a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot home in its place, or a home is doubled or tripled in size with a large addition. Was that a pretty good synopsis?
Probably better than I would have been. Thank you, Anthony. I'm sorry, just one clarification for, as the footprint isn't altered or enlarged, this exempts basements and attics, right?
It does.
And ADUs?
It does, correct. ADUs, attics, and basements as well. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And it's essentially Neighborhood Preservation Act to keep people from buying small houses to up much larger houses. I'm curious if anyone here is approving of 500 square feet into a house. Okay, that helps. Yeah, just so that we know,
You guys gonna like pay me a lot more?
We also toured two additions which were nice that were currently underway. They just had drywall hung, which really gave a good understanding for the planning commission when they made this. That again, they probably met at least 3 or 4 times on this and kept refining it to come up with this number.
and keep in mind that this proposal, it can always be changed. We don't want to overburden our board of adjustment. We're hoping that won't happen, but we're also talking tonight about the comprehensive plan, which we would do prior to restructuring our zoning ordinance. So it's during that zoning process that we might have an opportunity to take a look at the effect, we're probably, and let's go away from having a new zoning ordinance, something that was written in the last century. And responsive to the comprehensive plan. And so at that point in time, with the comprehensive plan, that something else could, should be done or considered at that point. So, so if you have a situation, don't meet those requirements, you can always appeal to the board of the board of appeals. And then listening to your argument and feel the hardship, they can then override the ordinance. So it's not final, and it does limit people's ability to put additions on their house. It doesn't take everything into consideration if you have a double lot, things like that. But it's a good first step, and we'll see how it works. And if I get a bunch of people out here that come back and say it's not working for them, we'll revisit it. So, is there anyone else that would like to talk? Or is there anyone that would like to talk? Because we've been monopolizing the conversation here about this ordinance. In that case, the public hearing is now closed. Item number 9 is the public forum, first of 2 public forums, where we give people a chance to speak about any topic that's of interest to city council. Yeah, thanks again.
Thank you again for coming.
And yeah, okay. So item number 9 is the public forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak about anything with us? Okay, you'll have another opportunity later on to say. So item number 10 is announcements.
Yeah, we got a couple things going on. This Saturday, we have Juneteenth from 11 to 1 at the pool. Food, fun, cool time, it's good times. June 26th, the Chamber of Commerce has the next of their summer concert series. That's always fun. And then my favorite event of the year is the art fair, the art festival at the Meet Art on July 12th. That's coming up too.
Any other announcements? Nope. Then we'll move on to item number 11. I'd like to call Sean O'Gorman to the stand. He's an attorney. Sean is the chair of the Design Review Civil Historic Preservation Commission, and he's going to report on what these guys are doing and what they've done.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk. The Design Review Board continues along its railroad track of making sure that we perturb as few people as possible, but yet still maintain the diverse nature of what goes on here in Maplewood. Our function is pretty straightforward, pretty simple for those people who haven't seen it. It's basically anything needs the outside, whatever it is, design has to be passed by us. Our restrictions are relatively limited. Our powers are very few. And what we try to do is to try and mix this together. Luckily for us, we have a great board. I'm there, but we've got someone Dana, who knows everything about colors. So whenever a sign comes up, unbelievable ability to help us make decisions about what font should be and shouldn't be and what a sign should look like and colors and stuff like that, which is very, very helpful. We've got an architect on there, and we also have real estate agent, as well as as a simple, a wonderful perspective from Ms. Kelly about other citizens' positions on all of this stuff. The recent application of the preservation board is technically a it's a different board. And that's when you want to tear something down, you have to get a permit to do that. And that permit has to be approved by, or the concept has to be approved by us. We are in an empathetic position to both people who want to preserve things and yet also to the empathy to the people who need to tear stuff down. Not this year. In fact, the matter is kind of interesting. We haven't had since 22, we had not had a application to tear something down. Then this year we had an application to sort of, I guess, approve or not approve or whatever, or something to do with the church and the school next to it. No one showed up for from the side of the developer, and it was pretty clear from the 50, 60, 70 people that showed up that that wasn't going to face some serious citizen input. And without anyone showing up, the motion was simply, it never got off the table. So that's certainly how we decided to handle that. There was some difference of opinion. People thought that we should have denied it. Let them give, if they've got to let them have their piece, they say their piece works for us. I just got appointed again for another 3 years, which is really appreciative. I enjoy doing it. Hopefully, I think we do a good job. And but I would like to have a budget this year, so you can buy one every 2 weeks. Very long. How's that sound?
Yeah, during the work session, we discussed making a change to the design review board.
Okay.
Of the 5 members, currently we require 3 business people.
Oh.
We're lowering that to 2 business people.
Okay.
So
we got 2.
Right.
Right.
So we can be in compliance now, once that goes into effect.
Well, okay. All right. Okay.
It doesn't mean we can't have more than 2.
Okay. That's okay. Good.
But
as you know, I'm not a resident. I moved into the city before I ever met Maplewood, but then when I did, of course, I moved my business here, and I've been here for, I don't know, 20 years, give or take. Yeah, at least. Okay.
And the other thing I'd like to say to people out there is that as Mr. Gorman said, a lot of people showed up to the public hearing for the demolition of the education building over Immaculate Conception. And based on that feedback, the developer hasn't necessarily indicated what he's going to do yet, but he's reconsidering that based upon what he called a headwind that he would be facing. And you saw it tonight in particular, that when people come out and express their opinions, that it actually means something. And also, you guys can also serve on boards and commissions yourself if you want to. And I've spent 7 years on design and review board, and I was there when the Historic Preservation Commission was started. And it's very rewarding to help guide the city, the look of it, make sure that people are doing the right thing, that it fits in. And
we try. That's all I can do is try. And I think the people that are there try very hard to do that. And it is truly, you're saying what I should be saying, which is it's an honor for me to be able to be involved in. Not to interrupt. Your Honor.
does anyone have any questions for Sean?
I object. I was looking forward to the report, so thank you. It's great.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you know this, Sean. I appreciate all the work that you do. For those of you if you haven't been to a design and review board, it's probably one of the better ones. It's a very, very good group of folks that I'm telling you, they put a lot of effort into making sure that your vinyl siding and your window trim and your masonry is how it should be. And truthfully, I was also on that board, and we have saved several people from a lot of mishaps.
Right,
So,
and that's really where the reward comes in, where we can de-escalate differences of opinion between residents. And also, sometimes they come in with, I'm kind of proud of the fact that I pissed off any number of factors who have then they go back and really deal with those significant problems that people have, so.
remember, we had a house come that, the chimney disappeared on their drawings that existed, so
Right.
we had to let them know that they'll need to,
Without the help of an architect, there's no way we could do this effectively, and so we're very,
Along those lines, one of the things that's unusual about Huntington. And this is coming from an architect that was registered in 50 states. in dealing with- I've never seen it called design. I've seen architectural, architectural control. Things like that. But including the design into that commission, and we truly partner with the applicants to come up with the best solution. So, thank you for your service.
thank you, and look forward to it, and,
Dinner would be,
thank you.
thank you.
That was item number 11. Item number 12 was the motion to approve a full and Sunday package liquor license for Kunal Patel of Royal Liquor to be located at 2423 South Big Bend Boulevard. So I guess we need to have a motion.
Do we need to vote on this since the petitioner has agreed to withdraw?
That's a good enough.
Well, he hasn't,
Hasn't officially.
yeah, he hasn't officially,
I would just continue it, if he withdraws it officially, or put it on the table.
okay. We have a motion to table. Second, we have a motion to second. Would this be a voice vote?
Just do a roll call.
So I understand what I'm voting on. We're voting to table it, and then when he withdraws, it's just gonna disappear.
Yes.
Okay.
Point of clarification, when you said or table, you mean they could vote it down as well? Or were you just saying you'd rather continue or table?
I think the motion is to table it,
Would-
and that means that it goes onto the table and wouldn't come back off until
Okay.
someone votes to take it back off, and he withdraws it, that will then.
Thank you.
Would we not just be safe to just vote it down? Is there a reason why we wouldn't?
That may have collateral. Consequences that, you know, we just wouldn't want to enter.
That's why we have.
So, to clarify for everyone. The application would be extended. And at that point, we would not. That up again. So it would just die. So, we have a motion, a second, and a roll call, please.
Councilmember Correll,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Homa,
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox,
Yes.
Councilmember Page.
Yes.
The motion to table is approved.
Thank you. Item number 13 is a proposal presentation regarding the comprehensive plan. So Catherine Hannaford, PGAV is going to make that presentation.
You don't have to.
I don't have to hold it. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Hamaker. I'm an urban planner, associate director at PGAV. So we're located here in St. Louis, but we do work all over the country, but I would be the project manager on this. So you'd see me all the time. You go to the next slide for me. Do I have to do it? You have to do it. Okay. I don't know if everyone's familiar with PGAV or not. We were founded in 1965. Our office is in downtown. That number is about 200 people now, within the St. Louis, Kansas City and Orlando, Florida offices. There's about 100 of us downtown. We do work for municipalities, for institutions, for corporations, for nonprofits all over the country. Lots of comprehensive plans, lots of economic development work, neighborhood plans, corridor plans, kind of all over. As I mentioned, I'm an urban planner, so this is all that I do, but there's lots of other things that people at PGAV do, but this is sort of my specialty. Let me go to the next slide for me. This is a list of plans and projects we've done in the last maybe 3 to 5 years, I'd say. I've been at PGAV for 6 years, so these have all happened since I have been there. Done a lot of comprehensive plans in the region in the last couple of years. In this region, Richmond Heights, Clayton, Edwardsville, Hazelwood, Collinsville, all kind of in the close-ish area. We've also done a lot of zoning code updates. The mayor mentioned that zoning is often a next step after comprehensive plans. So we just finished Richmond Heights next door a couple of months ago. They similarly did a comprehensive plan and then rolled that right into a zoning code update to make sure the zoning aligned with those changes that came out of the comprehensive plan. Some places do, specialized plans like downtown plans for smaller communities, or we've done some specific studies for communities that wanted to look more into a certain topic. So Kirkwood was really interested in attainable housing. So we did an attainable housing study for them a couple of years ago. And some other kind of specialized planning projects and grant work in the region as well. Next slide for me. Thank you. Okay, I was told I was just to make this very brief. And so this is one slide to explain to you what a comprehensive plan is, which is a lot. Comprehensive plan is a document that you all are required by the state of Missouri to have on the books. There are unfortunately no rules by the state as to how updated it has to be. So some communities let it go for many, many, many years. That is not necessarily advised. Usually we tell people to do it every 15-ish years so that they can ensure that the land use environment and what people and residents have said that they'd like is consistent with what you're seeing. So in the first phase, which is a long phase, we would be gathering existing conditions. So we'd be figuring out what is every parcel in your community used for today? What does the market say? What do transportation networks look like? How are people using the downtown? All of those sorts of pieces of data, demographics that tell us what your community looks like today. That is always a part of a comprehensive plan. And that's the piece that is really important to do every, 10, 15, 20 years, because it changes a lot in that period of time, especially in a community that's part of a larger region, part of a larger market. Businesses come and go, residents come and go, lots of dynamics change. We then move into phase 2, which is the land use planning phase. And that is really sort of the meat of what a comprehensive plan is. There's a future land use map, which then sort of sets you up to make some choices around your zoning code. And that is something that would come out of this process. So we would anticipate working with you all over the course of a few months to think about areas of your community that might be susceptible to change, that might, they might look really different now than they did when you did your last comprehensive plan. They might be places that you just feel like if you're looking 10 or 15 years down the line, they're going to look different then, and sort of think about some different land use options. So we'll work with you all to think about what that could be and then what the ramifications of some different options are. What does it mean for number of residents, for tax revenue, for sustainability, for traffic, all those kinds of dynamics that different land use choices impact. And then all of that rolls up in phase 3 into the plan document itself. So we use an objectives and key results framework, which is really a way to define goals and then steps to get there. So all of that would be rooted in all of that engagement that would happen throughout the process. So we've got 3 public meetings, stakeholder interviews, online survey, all kinds of ways to engage with you all throughout the process and with the community at large. And what we're going to be asking them throughout the process is, what would they like to see in their community? What kinds of land use changes would they like to see? What sorts of businesses would they like to see or not see in the community? Where could those go in the future? What kind of zoning changes make sense? And then again, that rolls up into sort of the guidebook for what you all and staff do moving forward in the next 15 or 20 years of decision making you'll have to do. So we've got this defined as a 15 to 18 month process. That sort of can go quicker depending on a lot of engagement, or slower depending on sort of how your process works. But that is typically what we recommend. I think that's it.
So, question I have for you,
Absolutely.
First of all, you don't have to do as much work. We just want liquor stores here.
Get this part.
But as far as anticipated cost of updating our zoning ordinance, Because it's, what's the last time, 1990, was the last comprehensive plan?
The last comp plan was 90, the last zoning ordinance, a significant update was 80.
And so can you give us an idea of, a ballpark figure of what it might cost to not only, after you're done with the comprehensive plan, turn that into, a zoning ordinance document?
Yeah, so I think it depends. So for some communities, if it's a full overhaul and they would like us to do all of it, it can be like in the $75,000 range. Richmond Heights, for example, I'll just tell you because it's public. They did it, so we provided them with sort of a review of their zoning code line by line and recommended what they were to do next, but the staff actually wrote the code. The staff worked with their attorney to do it themselves. And I think that contract was closer to 35 or 40. So it just sort of depends. It's, dense zoning. So it can be very time consuming. So there's a couple of different ways you could do it. You could also do it chapter by chapter and sort of phase it over several years. Depends on how you'd like to do it.
Okay. And that would include a digital format that
Certainly.
which software do you use for that online?
For the zoning code itself, we usually create it and then municipalities we do it in Municode.
Are there questions from council?
Yeah, I have one. First, thank you for coming in for the update. My question is around the engagement piece. You mentioned 3 public meetings, online survey. I've read that some places who do a comprehensive plan look to like a core team of people that includes people from your shop as well as maybe members of boards and commissions and members of the community. Do you guys recommend or advise something like that, or will engagement be based only on what you mentioned?
No, so we usually recommend a steering committee. So it depends in the community how you want to set that up, but typically it's a couple residents, couple business owners, maybe someone from the plan commission, perhaps someone from the design review board, things like that. A council person usually participates, and then usually there's a couple of staff participants that are in charge of sort of more of the implementation pieces of that. And then that group meets throughout the process to provide kind of guidance, and there's sort of like a gut check kind of group, as we go through the process and we hear things from the community or we hear ideas about land use, those sorts of things. So certainly would like to do that here and would look to you all to kind of help figure out who makes sense to be on that.
Thank you.
There are other questions? Well, public input portion, but we plenty of opportunities, so the city will make sure that the residents know that they have an opportunity to provide their input in the process. And thank you for doing it. So, thank you very much.
Of course.
Item number 14 is a resolution of the city council of the city of Lakewood, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to accept the proposal of $45,000 to provide professional consulting services related to the city's comprehensive plan. Have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion, second, any discussion? And just to let people out there know, I believe this was the low bidder. So it sounds like a lot of money, but it could be more, unfortunately. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Homa,
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox, Councilmember Page,
Yes.
Councilmember Correll.
Yes.
Resolution 24-40 is approved.
Thank you. Item number 15 is a resolution of the city council of the city of Lakewood, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to accept the proposal of Financial Services Incorporated $1,000 to serve as the city's financial advisor for the competitive issuance of bonds to construct, reconstruct, extend, repair, and improve city streets, sidewalks, and street lighting. Motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion, second, any discussion? Amber, would you like to just briefly describe the role of the financial advisor in this process?
Advisor assistance in negotiating the sale of the bonds. So this is the step that comes before the bonds go to market and we determine who the underwriter or underwriters for the bond will be.
And this is a situation where How many proposals did we receive?
5 or 6, yeah.
Okay. So. We can use taxpayer, appropriately. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Greenberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Homa,
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox.
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Councilmember Correll,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Resolution 24-41 is approved.
Item 16 is a resolution of the council of the city of Lakewood, authorizing the city to engage the services of board as bond counsel to the city. Motion to approve. Second. We have a motion, and a second, is there any discussion? Would you briefly delineate their responsibility?
Likewise, we need a law firm to help us through the sale process, through the financial advising. So
And we'll specialize in.
they do. Yes,
Okay.
and actually, a majority of the proposals that we received from the financial advisors recommended using Gilmore and Bell. Obviously, we've worked with them previously, as we did with the ballot language and the resolution for the proposition. It is 30,000 plus another 12,500. This keeps us in legal compliance with all of the notifications that we need to issue.
Questions for discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Homa,
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox.
Yes.
Councilmember Page.
Yes.
Councilmember Correll,
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg.
Yes.
Resolution 24-42 is approved.
Item number 17 is emergency city council of the city of Lakewood, Wood Code of Ordinances, chapter 56, zone local 2, district of regulations, division 2. That's our single family residential district, section 56-73, use regulations in article 5, non-conformity section 56-1061, non-conforming lots of record, a residential district subsection to bring lot size and setback standards into alignment with the existing regions and to preserve the characteristics in housing affordability. Motion to approve. Second. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'm enthusiastic.
Yeah, I'd like to thank planning and zoning as well as Colin and a couple of other those members who really went above and beyond to get this to where the community is okay with this. Council, everyone's good with it. I think it went through a great process. Yeah, and also thanks to them because we sent this back and said, no, needs more work. Appreciate them getting it done quickly, and I think it's in good shape. So do appreciate it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The second. City Council of the City of Lakewood, Code of Ordinances, chapter 56-7, article 2, district regulations, division 2, SR single family residential district, section 56-73, use regulations, and article 5, non-conforming section 56-1061, non-conforming lots of record in residential district subsection to bring lot size and setback standards into alignment with existing regions and to preserve local characteristics of affordable housing, housing affordability. So,
Motion to approve. Second.
we have a motion, second, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion to abstain finally held at the next meeting. For those that haven't been to a council meeting before, it has been 3 times, and we typically we meet twice at the first one, unless there's an emergency, and we will meet it all 3 times. But that gives time for public input. So if there was an issue on this, you could come back and speak, during the public forum on that. So item number 18 is Bill 6253, Council of the City of Lakewood, Missouri, granting a conditional use permit. Look, is Melissa here? Good, okay. To allow short-term vacation rentals at 7436 Richmond Place.
Motion to approve the bill. Second.
We have a motion, second, any discussion? It was good last time because some people came to speak out against it and we were able to get together with the petitioner. And I think they worked out most of the differences. So that's the way we like to see it happen. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Maddox.
Yes.
Councilmember Page.
Yes.
Councilmember Correll.
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Homa.
Yes.
Bill 6253 becomes ordinance 6047.
6254, so the city council and some of the members granting to accessory dwelling at 7570 West. Motion to approve the bill. Second. We have a motion, second, in discussion. For those out there, an accessory dwelling, I believe the maximum size is 800 square feet and it would be detached from your house. It still has some setback requirements and other requirements, but it's something that's allowed in Lakewood. The couples.
Councilmember Page.
Yes.
Councilmember Correll.
Yes.
Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Homa.
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox.
Yes.
Bill 6254 becomes ordinance 6048.
Item number 20 is 6255, and city council and city approval adopting a budget for the city of Lakewood for the fiscal year beginning July 1st. June 5. Motion to approve the bill. Second. Second, is there any discussion?
Just a thanks again, Amber, Lexi, and department heads for putting this together and making it so digestible for us. It's approved every year, and this one's been the best so far, so thanks.
And we actually have one left over.
Well, they're growing back in here. Let's get them some dinners.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Correll.
Yes.
Mayor Green, or pardon me, Councilmember Garcia.
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Homa.
Yes.
Councilmember Maddox.
Yes.
Councilmember Page.
Yes.
Bill 6255 becomes ordinance 6049.
Thank you. Business. Council communication. We need council members need to communicate with them. Not much to comment on. We have a written coming up. We have so indicates that we're still getting business to come in. And the next one is, I'm trying to remember now, but it's, that's always good news. We have closed down. But the plan number 10 for that space. That's the manager's report. City manager's report.
Mayor and council, I will remind you that with your final approval of the budget, you have approved a $100,000 allocation for audiovisual upgrades for council chambers. An RFP was posted on the city's website today to solicit bids from vendors to do so. So I encourage you to spread the word so that we have competitive bids for this process, which is long overdue and very much needed. And I thank our public for their patience and perseverance through many years of deteriorating sound quality and video inconsistency. I will also note that I have included a draft of a proposed fiscal year 24-25 perpetual calendar, a start at what we would consider a recurring calendar for council so that we are slotting in quarterly budget presentations, the consistency of our board and commission reports, as well as our strategic budget meeting. I'd like to introduce a town hall meeting in January where we can receive feedback and update the public on our accomplishments and our goals for the prior year and the coming year. I've included it here for you to take a look at and let me know if you recommend any changes. As a reminder, we will be adhering to our regular summer meeting schedule for July and August. Mayor will be out of the country for that August meeting, so the deputy mayor will step into that. Questions about that?
Item number 26 is an opportunity to, second public forum to address the council about any issue. Yeah, Doug.
Yeah, this is, in relation to Doug Minor, 7344 Marietta Avenue. This is in relation to, design and review and Mr. O'Gorman's report. Actually, it's not the report. My thought is that there was the comment on the great detail that they go into, looking at the houses and siding and things like that. And my thought is that I think they should also consider whether a historically brick house is painted. Because it when a two-story old brick house is painted white with the limestone foundation being painted black, I don't think that helps it fit into the neighborhood at all. I haven't done much research on this, but I think it's not very good for the brick also.
So we do have an expert that
There's an AC.
we don't have that kind of time. See me after the meeting.
No, there's a house on Greenwood, which everybody knows about, which a rehabber fixed it up and painted it white and then listed it for $775. You know, I don't know. Anyway, it's a nice looking house on the inside, the outside, in my opinion, does not look very good. I think there are some municipalities that prohibit that, and that's the gist of my thought.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a topic we can bring up. I'm not sure exactly the design review parameters that might govern that at this point. I suppose maybe something years ago.
You want me to hold the button? All right, so I work in audio video. I can handle this.
Give us a bid.
Mr.
Give us a
President,
bid.
and my whole, this is no, you don't.
Wow.
You know, something I can be heard. It's all right. My name is Lou Stelmer. I own a small property, 2419 South Big Bend, which is very close to the proposed liquor store. And my question is, if the petitioner does not rescind the application, what is the process? Will we hear about it if it comes back up for vote before it vote?
Yes. Sure.
Thank you. And other than that, I'm so happy to hear about microphone improvements because it was hurtful to those of us who were. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to speak at the public forum? In that case, we move on to item number 27, which is motion to hold a closed session and discuss matters relating to personnel matters under section 16-14 under section 610 and the documents related to negotiating contract under section 16-12. So what'll happen now? We're going to close section and then we'll come out and adjourn. Interaction with the public. So moved. Seconded. Second, all those in favor?
We need to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, roll.
Yeah.
Councilmember Garcia,
Yes.
Mayor Greenberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Homa,
Yes.
Councilmember, Councilmember Page.
Yes.
Councilmember Correll.
Yes.
The motion to go into closed session is approved.
Okay. We're going to go in closed session.